Game series to open up the West Coast League season between the Portland Pickles and the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Great to welcome you high above Walker Stadium, everyone. Ben Clayton here for the final game of this three-game set, as I mentioned just a second ago. The Pickles looking for the series win after dropping Game 2 last night 4-2 to these Wenatchee Apple Sox, as we'll get right into the starting lineups. First, the batting order for the Apple Sox, again coming off that 4-2 W last night against the Pickles. Enzo Apodaca will be leading things off for Wenatchee, playing center field, looking to have a better night after going 0 for 5 last night. Adam Grove, the shortstop, hitting second, 0 for 3 last night. Luke Stuka will be hitting third, the first baseman. Dakota Duffalo had a very solid night at the dish last night, 3 for 4. The right fielder will be hitting fourth. Tino Bethencourt, 2 for 3 with an RBI in that big fourth inning, I should say, for the Apple Sox. He's hitting in that fifth spot. Garrett Cutting, 6. Jackson Vandebrake in the 7th spot. Peyton Flynn at the 8th spot. And Ben Lee, the catcher, rounding out the lineup for the Apple Sox at number 9. Defensively for the Portland Pickles tonight, Noah Guyette will move over to third base tonight. Jacob Jablonski at short. Ryan Ball at second. Ollie Arnson tonight at first base. Evan Leibel catching behind the plate. In the outfield, Ryan Gardino in left. Gabriel Ariano in center field. And Mr. Pickle himself, Gabe Scoro, will be in right field. And tonight's starting pitcher for the Pickles will be Bradley McVeigh. Right now playing his college ball up on the bluff for the University of Portland. Was very impressive in his brief outing in the Pickles win over the Willamette Wild Bills in their second preseason game back on Thursday night. He struck out the side in one inning pitched, as he will face Enzo Apodaca to lead things off here in Game 3 of opening weekend. First pitch in there for a strike. Tim Heigl calling balls and strikes tonight. Will Bennett will be our umpire out in the field. Enzo Apodaca, like I mentioned before, 0 for 5 last night with 2 strikeouts. Second pitch, right over to Ryan Ball. That one in time for out number 1. I'll bring up Adam Grobe. And I touched on it a little bit just a second ago. Last night, the Pickles got out to a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the second thanks to a 2-run jack by Jacob Jablonski that just flew over the right field wall. But after that, no offense. It was non-existent for the Pickles. They had their chances, especially in the bottom of the 7th when they loaded the bases, but just couldn't capitalize. Wenatchee was able to put on 4 unanswered to take it 4-2. That's all they really needed to take Game 2 of this series, as Adam Grove takes ball 1 in the dirt. Adam Grove 0 for 3 last night. Check swing from Grove. Did he go around? No, he didn't, according to Will Bennett. As I mentioned before, dark clouds overhead here at Walker Stadium. You're just hoping the rain holds off tonight and we get a full baseball game in without any delays. 3-0. Adam Grove just finished his COVID sophomore season at South Carolina Upstate. The 3-0 on the way. That one catches the zone, 3-1. Grove this past season hit .246 with 2 home runs, 6 RBIs in 28 games. The 3-1. And a 5-pitch walk as Grove gets on. And the first baseman, Luke Stuka, will step in for the Apple Sox. 1 for 3 last night with 2 runs scored. Currently at Saddleback Community College, where he hit .219 this past season. Lefty on lefty showdown here. That one catches the outer half, 0-1. And as I say that, the sun's starting to come out here at Walker Stadium. Definitely a welcoming sight. As I mentioned before, we're hoping the rain will stay away tonight here at Walker Stadium. Right now, we do have a 60% chance of rain at 7 p.m. Chopper out at second. but not a time at first as the Pickles tried to turn the 6-4-3 double play instead of fielder's choice. 2 down here for Wenatchee as Jacob Jablonski was able to get it to Ryan Ball, but not in time over to Ole Arntzen. Dakota Duffalo will step in, and as I mentioned, when talking about the starting lineups, a terrific bounce-back performance for Duffalo last night. 3 for 4 with 3 singles. After going 0 for 3 with a strikeout in Game 1 back on Friday night. McVeigh, long look over, comes home. That one grounded over to Noah Guyette. We'll just flip it over to Ryan Ball for the 3rd out. Pickles bats look to get going. They had a big bottom of the 1st last night. Can they do that again? We'll find out.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Not as good of weather here in Game 3 of this 3-game series, but the fans are going to turn out anyway. That's how much they love baseball here in the city of Portland, and especially after the year we've had, just to have baseball back and getting some sort of normalcy. You got your options with the Pickles, obviously, here in Portland, the Hillsborough Hops, as well as the Vancouver Canadians. People were so antsy to get back out and to experience baseball once again, to get back out and enjoy a baseball game, as the Pickles will come to bat here in the bottom of the 1st. Really quickly, we'll get to the batting order here. Gabriel Ariano will lead things off here for the Pickles. 2 for 4 with 2 singles last night. Noah Guyette playing 3rd base, hitting 2nd, as the first pitch is popped up into right, as Garrett Cunning will move over to make the grab for the 1st out. Noah Guyette will step in, as I mentioned just a second ago. Jacob Jablonski hitting in the 3rd spot. Ole Arntzen hitting cleanup at number 4. Ryan Ball hitting 5th. Eamonn Lance, the new addition for the Pickles out of Santa Clara, will be hitting 6th. Gabe Scoro hitting 7th. Ryan Gardino at the 8th spot, and Evan Leibel rounding out the lineup at number 9. And on the bump tonight for the Wenatchee Apple Sox, as that first pitch is high, off the arm of Reed Rasmussen, getting his first start of the regular season. Now, this is a guy who has really had to battle injuries over the last couple of years. We'll get into that later on in the game. From the windup, the 1-0 to Noah Guyette as he takes strike 1. Guyette did not play last night in Game 2 of the series. In Game 1 was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. The 1-1. Guyette would definitely love a big night, a big bounce-back performance. Currently at Air Force, lefty on lefty showdown. Here comes the 2-1. That one catches the outer half, 2-2. Pickles looking for another big bottom of the 1st, as I mentioned. Jacob Jablonski with a 2-run blast in the bottom of the first last night, but that's all the Pickles were able to get on the board. Goose eggs the rest of that one. Breaking ball over to Garrett Cutting, and the second out for the Pickles. 2 quick outs for Portland. And right on cue, Jacob Jablonski will step to the dish. Hit the first home run this Pickle season over the right field wall. The switch hitter going up against the lefty here takes ball 1 high and outside. Overall, Jablonski finished 1 for 3 last night in the loss. Rasmussen comes home to him, and that one tattooed into left field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Jablonski's going to take a hard turn around first, and he's into second with a stand-up double with 2 down. And the first inning has been kind to Jacob Jablonski over the last 2 games. 2-run homer last night, and then a stand-up double here in Game 3. And Ole Arntzen will step in. Pinched hit last night in the bottom of the 9th, but struck out swinging. A big swing at the dish as he takes a big hack right there. 6'4", 250 pounds. Looking to provide some power for Justin Marcus's lineup this season. That one chopped up the middle. Grobe over to first in time, and that will retire the side. A quick first inning here at Walker Stadium. Still goose eggs between the Pickles and the AppleSox.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Break all vodka.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in
No score as we head to the top of the second between the Pickles and the AppleSox. Tino Bethencourt will lead things off here from Wenatchee. 2 for 3 last night with an RBI in that big 4th inning for Wenatchee. The bats really woke up for the AppleSox after not scoring a single run and only getting 1 hit in Game 1 back on Friday night. Bradley McVeigh from the wind. Swing and a miss there from Bethencourt. 6'2" infielder. Currently at San Diego State, did not play in the 2021 season. 0-2, swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out for Bradley McVeigh as he gets his first strikeout of the night. Coming off a 3.41 ERA this past season for Jeff Loomis' squad up on the Bluff, a 6-3 record with 67 strikeouts. First pitch fouled off by Garrett Cutting. And another big night for another Apple Sox hitter, 1 for 4. Also had an RBI in that big 4th inning, which allowed Wenatchee to take the lead. And again, that's all that the Apple Sox needed in that 4-2 win last night. Cutting very soon will be making his way down south to Eugene to play for Mark Wasikowski's Oregon Ducks, as he whiffs there 1-2. McVeigh looking for his second K, and he gets it. Swing and a miss with the high cheese. 2 quick strikeouts for Bradley McVeigh. Another high heater upstairs there for the lefty. As I mentioned earlier, struck out the side in his 1 inning of work back on Thursday in that 15-6 win. Shows bunt. McVeigh, little confusion. Leibel has to throw to first, and that's going to be an infield single there by Jackson Vandebrake. Leibel and McVeigh kind of hesitated a little bit there. Both of them not really sure who to take charge there and to get the ball. But either way, it's going to be the first hit of the night for Wenatchee. And I'll bring up Peyton Flynn. Flynn last night 0 for 4. I would really love a big weekend pickoff attempt, I should say, over to first. 0 for 3 on Friday night, 0 for 4 last night for Peyton Flynn, 0 for 7 this series. Slow start this weekend as he's late on that one, 0-1. Peyton Flynn currently up in Pullman with Washington State. Only had 1 at bat in the 2021 season, went down swinging. McVeigh comes home. That one outside, 1-1. Flynn, 6'3", 204 pounds. And in the previous season, only played in 3 games, but hit .333 with 2 RBIs for the Cougs. 1-1. Late again on that one, 1-2. McVeigh from the stretch. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. 3 Ks in the top of the second for Bradley McVeigh. A solid start by the Southpaw. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score between the Pickles and the Apple Sox.
B-E-F-A-S-T. Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T.
P-I-C-K-L-E-S-T.
Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Grape color vodka.
Bottom of the second we go. Still goose eggs between the Pickles and the Apple Sox, as Ryan Ball will step in to lead things off for the Pickles. And taking a look at the scores around the rest of the West Coast League. A lot of games have already gone final. The Cowlitz Black Bears take down the Walla Walla Sweets 5-4. The Ridgefield Raptors, who the Pickles will take on next. Game one of that series up at Ridgefield will start on Tuesday. They smoke the Bend Elks 13-0. And then Port Angeles takes down Bellingham 10-7. Aside from this game here at Walker Stadium, the other game that will be going on today, which will start in a little over 30 minutes from now, will be Corvallis and Yakima Valley. 6:05 first pitch in that one, as Ryan Ball will take 2-0. Reed Rasmussen again on the bump for Wenatchee. On the windup, the lefty comes home again. This one absolutely ripped into right. And that's going to bounce against the wall on the warning track. This is going to be extra bases for Ryan Ball. And a lead-off double for Ball. And a good start to the bottom half of the second for the Pickles. And now bring up Eamonn Lance, the designated hitter. As Lance will be making his first at-bat, his first appearance for the Pickles. Joining the team today. Just finished his sophomore season at Santa Clara. Hit .218 with 3 dingers and 12 RBIs in 31 games. First pitch to Lance as he takes outside. .6'2", 190 pounds, out of Fairfax, California. Next pitch to him. That one below the knees. Looking for a big first at bat in a Pickles uniform here. Ahead 2-0 and now 3-0. Gabe Scoro on deck. Ryan Gardino right behind him. Here comes the 3-0. That one catches the outside. 3-1, I should say. 82 miles per hour on that 3-0 pitch. Here's the 3-1 to Lance. And he draws a 5-pitch walk. So 2 Pickles on with no one down here in the bottom of the second. And that'll bring up Gabe Scoro. Scoro 0 for 4 last night in game 2 with a trio of flyouts and a ground out. Overall 1 for 7 this weekend. Had an RBI in game 1 back on Friday. His 4th year wearing a Pickles uniform as he shows bunt but pulls it back 1-0. Won the Wild Wild West League batting title last season. Squares around again and takes strike 1. Scoro just finished his junior season nearby at UP. Squares around again. A beautiful bunt there from Scoro, trying to leg it out. And he is out. Strong throw right there from Reed Rasmussen, but Gabe Scoro does his job. Perfectly executed bunt right there to move the runners over. Ryan Gardino will now step in for the Pickles. 2 men in scoring position here for Portland with 1 down here in the bottom of the second. Ryan Gardino 1 for 4 last night. Had a single into Wright last night. Rasmussen trying to get out of this jam right here. That one fouled off the end of the bat. Two hits early on for the Pickles, as after we got the sunshine for a little bit, the clouds are starting to roll back in here at Walker Stadium. The 0-1. Breaking ball low there from Rasmussen. Gardino currently at Wofford. Only 6 at-bats this past season. The 1-1. Ahead of that one. 1-1. Well, now 1-2. But before this past season, Gardino, when he was at Santa Barbara City College, hit .415. Led off every single game. Rasmussen ahead, 1-2 here with 1 down. He could use a big K right here. This one, belted deep into center field. Apodaca going back, and that is off the top of the wall. Ryan Ball will score. Lance will also come home. And a 2 RBI double from Ryan Gardino as he absolutely crushed that one to deep center, and the Pickles strike first, up 2-0. A big rip there from Ryan Gardino. A lot of us here in the ballpark thought that was going to fly away. Keep in mind, this is the deepest part of the ballpark right here. Straight center, it's about 335. Of course, you got to have a little extra power to get it over that double fence, which spans from left center to right center. Evan Leibel will step in, looking to continue this big half inning for the Pickles. 2-0. Evan Leibel 0 for 4 last night. Leibel ripped opposite way. Gardino is going to get held up at third. And the bats for the Pickles continue to stay hot here in the bottom of the second. Again, 2 men on. As we go back to the top of the order for the Pickles, Gabriel Ariano will step in. Flew out in his first at-bat. And Ben Lead is going to come out to talk to his pitcher. And first-year head coach Ian Sanderson's also going to come out as well. And we'll have a meeting up on the bump. Ian Sanderson, like I mentioned a second ago, his first season leading this AppleSox program. Got his first win as Wenatchee's head coach last night. And And talking again about Reed Rasmussen, as I mentioned earlier, had to deal with injuries over the last couple of years. Curley at Central Washington was actually recruited by CWU back when Rasmussen was in high school at Selah High School in Selah, Washington. But then he had to have Tommy John surgery back in 2019. Wildcats head coach Desi Story said at the time he needed a quality left-handed arm. So after a hurdle with that injury, I should say, Rasmussen, after heading over to Yakima Valley College, ended up finally at Ellensburg. So with hard work and determination, Rasmussen was finally able to get to Central Washington. And now here with the Wenatchee Apple Sox as the first pitch is outside 1-0. A 4.41 ERA with 25 strikeouts and 32 2/3 innings in 8 starts for Rasmussen this past season with Central Washington. Runners on the corners, 1 down. And we got a run down now. And it's a balk. They're going to call a balk here on Rasmussen. And Rasmussen is hot right now at home plate umpire Tim Heigl. You see him yelling at home plate umpire Tim Heigl right there. He was hot after getting called the balk on. And now Ian Sanderson will talk with Tim Heigl. So now it's a 3-0 Pickles lead. And now Rasmussen is going to chat with Will Bennett as well. So another run comes in for the Pickles off the balk. Portland looking to continue this strong bottom half of the second. Ariano lifts this one to left center. Apodaca is going to track it down. Leibel's going to tag from second. Play at third, and as he beats it. 2 down, and another run 90 feet away for the Pickles. Now I'll bring up Noah Guyette. Guyette grounded out to second in his first plate appearance last inning. A 3-0 Pickles lead. First pitch from Rasmussen as Guyette tried to chase one upstairs, 0-1. The 0-1. That one almost got away. Nice snag right there by Ben Lead. Here's the 1-1. That one heading to the bleachers. 1-2 to Guyette. Four hits now for the Pickles. Rasmussen trying to get out of this second inning. That one just missed outside. And now time called. That one low and outside. Count full, 3-2. Reed Rasmussen really trying to get out of this bottom half of the second. Here's the payoff. That one in the dirt. And Leibel is going to score on the pass ball. And meanwhile, Noah Guyette is going to move up to second. And now it's a 4-0 Portland lead as they raise the chairs here at Walker Stadium.
Keep the sound going for your shortstop, number 6 from Chico State.
Now I'll bring up Jacob Jablonski. He's looking to continue to have a strong performance so far. Had a double off the wall in his first at-bat back in the first. Another runner in scoring position here for Jacob Jablonski as he takes strike one. And to give you another weather report, I'm probably going to be giving you all a lot of them today. It is getting very dark here at Walker Stadium. Clouds starting to roll in. The 0-1. Rasmussen will just look over at Noah Guyette. That one gets away from lead. Another wild pitch, and Noah Guyette moves up to third. And another run just 90 feet away for Portland. Jablonski currently at Chico State after spending 2 years at Arkansas State out at Jonesboro. The 1-1, Jablonski. Foul tip, 1-2. The 1-2 home. Jablonski off the fist, foul. Four runs here in the bottom of the second. Ryan Gardino with a 2 RBI double off the wall in center field. And then another run scored on a balk and then a wild pitch. Jacob Jablonski looking to keep this bottom half of the second going with another big rip. As Rasmussen will step off again. Here comes the 1-2. That one low, 2-2. Twos to Jablonski. Swing and a miss. He couldn't hold up on that inside fastball. As Rasmussen finally gets out of it, but not before 4 runs by the Pickles in the bottom half of the second. Top 3 we go, 4-0 Portland.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Great call vodka.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Do Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym, be fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E.
Top of the third we go. Pickles with a big bottom half of the second. 4-0 over Wenatchee. Ben Lead will lead things off for the Apple Sox, and the rain is starting to pour here at Walker Stadium. 0-1 here to lead. As everybody rushes to get their umbrellas and their ponchos and their rain gear out here at Walker Stadium. 1-1 to lead. Again, that bottom of the second, highlighted by Ryan Gardino's big rip into center field that slammed against the center field wall for a 2 RBI double. 1-1, and Lead lifts one opposite way. Scoro going back to the track, to the wall, and that one is gone. A lead-off dinger for Ben Lead. That one just kept soaring and soaring. Well, now there's some discussion between Tim Heigl and Will Bennett, our umpires tonight. It looked like that flew over Gabe Scoro. That looked like a home run from our vantage point. Yep, they're going to say it's a dinger. Solo home run for Ben Lead. So we saw the first home run last night this Portland Pickles season off the bat of Jacob Jablonski, and now Ben Lead with the first dinger of the Wenatchee Apple Sox season. Back to the top of the order, Enzo Apodaca, who grounded out in his first plate appearance. And again, like we've seen early on this season, the walls in right field and in left field as Apodaca chops it. Jablonski, off-balance throw, and Apodaca is thrown out at first for out number one. But as I was about to say, if you look here at Walker Stadium, you got the wall between left field and left center field, as well as down the right field line, the right field pole, and to right center. They're pretty short. They're maybe about, I don't know, I want to say maybe 3-4 feet high. So it's pretty easy to hit one out. Not like what we saw back in the bottom of the second. Ryan Gardino blasted that one to center field. You got the double fence out there. Adam Grobe walked in his first appearance. Swings and misses there. That one high and outside. 1-2 from Bradley McVeigh. McVeigh, deep breath, comes home again, and now 2-2. Two's home. That one is going to get inside the bag. Grove is going to take a big turn to second. He'll try to stretch it out, sliding in, and it is going to be a double for Adam Grove. That one just inside the first base bag. And now Justin Barkas wants an explanation from Will Bennett. The Pickles head coach gets an explanation, and now another meeting between our two umpires tonight. And after a very, very brief conversation, no change, no reversal. And now the Apple Sox look to get the bats going here. We saw it last night. The Pickles jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Wenatchee App answered with a run of their own in the top of the second, and they used that big bottom of the fourth to score 3 and to take the lead, and that's all they needed in that 4-2 win. Luke Stuka now in the box. Reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. Stuka blooped opposite way. This is going to be a tough play for Gardino, as he can't hold on, can't make the catch. And 2 straight doubles there for the Apple Sox. Luke Stuka gets to second. Adam Grubb will move up to third. And Dakota Duffalo coming off a big night last night. 3 for 4 with 3 singles will step in with 2 men in scoring position. Starting to feel a little bit of deja vu here. McVeigh trying to get out of a jam. That one sliced opposite way. As Duffalo also reached on a fielder's choice in his first plate appearance. Duffalo currently in Salt Lake City playing for the Utah Utes. Didn't play in 2021. Definitely looking to be a part of a Utes program that's hoping for improvement in 2022 after finishing second to last in the Pac-12 this past season. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Two strikes, turn up, Walker Stadium, make some noise like you love the rain.
And in typical Oregon fashion, we're getting pouring down rain, but the sun is trying to peek out in the distance. From the stretch, McVeigh. The 1-2. That one fouled off. Looks like Duffalo's okay after taking that one off the foot. Never fun. Again, I'm speaking from experience here. Duffalo right now representing the tying run. Down 4-1. Duffalo continues to fight. 1-2. McVeigh could really use an out right here. Just to get to that second out would be huge for the southpaw. The 1-2. Duffalo once again battles. And we do the 1-2 all over again. Duffalo this time pops it up a mile high. Jablonski will call for it and make the squeeze for out number 2. Tino Bethencourt will look to have a big AB right here for the Apple Sox, striking out in his first at-bat back in the second. Again, 2 for 3 last night in that 4-2 victory for Wenatchee. McVeigh now trying to get out of a jam. That breaking ball finds the zone. 1-1. Both the Pickles and the Apple Sox with 4 hits each early on. The 1-1. As Bethencourt is way out in front of that one, 1-2. The 1-2. That one high. McVay looking to get out of this jam. Swing and a miss, and that's exactly what he does. Wenatchee, though, able to tack on a run off the solo home run as we head to the bottom half of the third. 4-1 Pickles.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym, be fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
A welcoming sight as the sun and blue skies are starting to reappear here at Walker Stadium after we had a little bit of rain back in the top of the third. Ollie Arnson will lead things off for the Pickles here in the bottom half of the third. Pickles fans, don't forget, you can get all your Pickles gear at pickleshop.com and as well as at the merchandise stand here at Walker Stadium. A lot of great stuff. A lot of hats, a lot of sweatshirts, a lot of shirts that go very, very quickly. My favorite so far has been the new Pickles players sweatshirts that they wear on the field, as well as the new caps for this season. I'm wearing both of them right now. They are absolutely awesome as Arnson takes a big swing at that one. 1-1. From the wind, Rasmussen. Arnson fouls it our way. Ollie Arnson coming off a big season with SIU Edwardsville, was second in batting average on that team at .321, was also second in slugging percentage at .591. So as I mentioned earlier, a big bat in that box. And you might see an example of it here. That one belted deep in the left, and that will fly away. Right on cue. Ollie Arnson goes yard with a big jack. Second home run this season for the Pickles. And it's now a 5-1 Portland lead. We finally see the big power of Ollie Arnson. What a blast as that one absolutely flew over the left center wall. Right on cue. You know, we so many times hear about the announcer's jinx. That was the exact opposite right there. I was talking about how big of a bat he has, and he goes yard. So, Pickles fans, you're welcome. 5-1 now, Portland, as Ryan Ball will step in. Reached on a double in his first at bat as he takes ball one high and inside. Next pitch from Rasmussen. Once again, high and inside. Pickles bats waking up after putting up only 2 runs last night in Game 2. 3-0 to Ryan Ball. The 3-0 comes home. And a 4-pitch walk for Ryan Ball.
The designated hitter, Eamonn Lance.
And now Eamonn Lance, the designated hitter, will step in. Still looking for his first hit in a Pickles uniform. Reached on a walk in his first AB in the second. By the way, I don't know if Arnson's ball has landed yet. That one was absolutely tattooed. Pickoff attempt. Close over at first as Ball was able to get back. Arnson's ball was hit so hard it might have been tracked over at PDX. Might have came on the radar. Another check over. Five 5-1 Portland. Rasmussen 1-0. That one popped up. That's going to drift its way foul. Fouled off again. And that might be going the same exact spot. And the sun is now shining bright here at Walker Stadium. Absolutely perfect. As it looks like the rain clouds have blown away. 1-2 to Lance. That one low. Gabe Scoro on deck for the Pickles. 2-2. That one popped up. Stuka is going to call them off and make the squeeze for out number 1. And that will bring up Gabe Scoro. Had a beautiful sack bunt back in the second. Gabe Scoro, a Portland boy through and through. Played across the river at Lincoln High School. And as I mentioned before, right now playing for Jeff Loomis's squad at the University of Portland. He finished the regular season on a terrific note. 5 of 11, 455 in the Pilots' final series of the season down at San Diego. Really came on late in the season. He ended up finishing 3rd on that squad in batting average at 305. And now looking to have another big summer in a Pickles uniform. As Scoro takes strike 1. 3 conference titles during his playing days with the Cardinals down in Southwest Portland. Almost got him over at first. Ryan Ball was almost nailed over at first. From the stretch, 1-1 from Rasmussen. Scoro rips it foul. And it looks like there is activity right now in the Wenatchee bullpen. Scoro down 1-2. Able to hold up. Ball on the run and gets to second. And a Pickle in scoring position here with one down. Scoro sliced opposite way. That's going to bounce all the way to the corner. He'll get to second. Ball gets the round home, and he will score. An RBI double from Gabe Scoro, and the Pickles bats continue to explode here in the game. Now a 6-1 lead. Ryan Ball will come home to score. As Scoro takes off his batting gloves. By the way, I was about to mention this before he sliced that one into right field. He was wearing purple batting gloves. I got to admit, it doesn't really match with the Pickles uniform and their colors, but obviously being a Portland Pilot, he is. And you know, ending the season on a high note, why not keep wearing those batting gloves? Six runs on 6 hits for Portland. Gabe Scoro with that RBI double. And now Ryan Gordino, who also had a big rip an inning ago, hit that double off the center field wall for a 2 RBI double. Breaking ball way outside. You know, Coach Maggs has to be extremely pleased with this Pickles offense today. 6 runs only in the 3rd inning. Gardino takes one upstairs. Gardino 6'4", 205. Again, just finishing his sophomore campaign at Wofford. Swing and a miss, now 2-2. Rasmussen comes set, comes home. And full count, 3-2. The payoff from Rasmussen. Gardino popped up into shallow left field. And Peyton Flynn will make the snag for out number 2. Bottom of the order now for the Pickles and Evan Leibel.
Now batting for your Portland Pickles, the catcher, number 3, Evan Leibel.
1 for 1 so far tonight with a single into left. Hit it opposite way into a, not just a gigantic hole, and I'm talking like a colossal hole between second and third, or short and third, I should say. Leibel pulls back 1-0. Leibel currently at Loyola Marymount, hitting 182 this past spring season.
Right around that 75 pitch mark.
That's been a rough outing so far for Reed Rasmussen. Leibel, nice diving stop by Stuka. Over to Rasmussen in time for out number 3. And the ball was thrown right at Tim Heigl. I think Rasmussen maybe thought there wasn't 2 outs and tried to get Gabe Scoro at home. Thankfully, Tim Heigl was able to shake it off, and it looks like he's okay. But the Pickles add on 2 more and take a 6-1 lead heading to the top of the 4th here at Walker Stadium.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Break of vodka.
Six to 1 Pickles after they tack on 2 more in the bottom of the 3rd to make it a 5-run ball game. And, of course, the NCAA tournament regionals underway locally here in the state of Oregon. Right now, the Oregon State Beavers trail Dallas Baptist 3-2 in the top of the 6th. So the Beavers trying to extend their season. With a loss tonight, their season's done. And meanwhile, down in Eugene, the Oregon Ducks getting ready to take on the LSU Tigers in that regional final. 7 o'clock first pitch, so 45 minutes away from first pitch down at PK Park. And speaking of the Ducks, Garrett Cutting, the future Duck, will lead things off for the Apple Sox here in the top of the 4th as Wenatchee will look for some offense to try to bounce back here down by 5. Takes the first pitch low and outside. And we've seen flashes of Cutting at the dish this weekend. Just oozes confidence at the plate as he swings and misses right there. The Ducks should be getting someone who will have a chance to step in right away with a high-level bat. The 1-1 to the future Duck, that one outside. And just talking about that Duck program, the job Mark Wazakowski has done, and I guess I should say a season and a half, considering that his first year last year was cut short due to the pandemic. But the Ducks, nationally ranked, hosting a regional. And then, obviously, they'll be getting a very talented batter in Garrett Cutting, who also made a tremendous play over at second base last night with the Pickles threatening with the bases loaded. Cutting made a diving stop and play over to first to get out of that bases loaded jam as he continues to battle here with 2s. Of course, the Ducks with a trio of former Portland Pickles and Gabe Matthews, Kenyon Yovan, as well as Brett Walker. Fouled off again. Still 2-2 here to Cutting. Out of Las Vegas, Nevada. That one way upstairs. And obviously those former Pickles who are now with Mark Wazakowski's program they've made huge impacts, especially this season. Gabe Matthews, of course, having a tremendous year as Cutting draws the walk. Gabe Matthews now the program leader in several offensive categories. We know Kenyon Yovan can get it done not only inside the box but also on the mound as well. An All-American hitter as well as a pitcher, and Brett Walker obviously part of that starting rotation for the Ducks. Jackson Vanderbrake now steps in for the Apple Sox as Cutting is on with the leadoff walk. First pitch up high, 1-0. Inside for a strike. McVeigh throw over. And we talk a lot about the Ducks. Obviously, can't forget about the Portland Pilots. You see it on the mound right now in Bradley McVeigh. You got Gabe Scoro, Nick Brink as well on this Portland Pilots squad, or this Portland Pickles squad. Well, I guess they're on both squads. Christian Cooney as well. A close relationship with Jeff Loomis and this Pickles front office and coaching staff. And why not? Once you get done with the college season, you only have to drive maybe about, 10 minutes away from campus to keep playing and to hone in your skills, make improvements before the next college season. Why not? It's a perfect match. 2-1 here from the Pilot. That one catches the outside, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 on the way. That one out to center. And Ariano makes the beautiful catch, throw over to first, and they will turn the double play. What a tremendous snag right there from Gabriel Ariano. And not the first time we've seen a big play from him this weekend, or really this season. Doing a tremendous job manning that outfield. And just like that, 2 down here for the Apple Sox. Ball 1 to Peyton Flynn. 1-0 Flynn. Blasts it foul, and that's heading to the parking lot. Again, Flynn currently up in Pullman with Washington State. We talk about the success Mark Wasikowski had, and Brian Green is doing a good job so far with that Cougar squad as Flynn is down 1-2. This 2021 season, Washington State with their first winning season since 2015. Flynn chases the high cheese. First strike 3. 6-1 Pickles. Bottom of the 4th, we'll see if Portland can continue their hot bats on the other side.
All right, Walker Stadium, it is time for a real treat. Jeremiah. Yeah, buddy. Take it away. Oh, we got a treat for you tonight. It's a little pickle juice drinking contest.
So here we go. For the first time this season, we're going to have a pickle juice drinking competition. So we got our contestants here.
What are your names? Doesn't matter. Get ready to drink this pickle juice. Count down, Walker Stadium, on 3. You're going to have to open it and chug away. Count down. 1, 2, 3. Chug. Go, 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 go.
And I got to be honest with you, I've never had pickle juice before. I could go for one right now, actually. If anybody's listening to me inside Walker Stadium right now and wants to run me up one, I would tremendously appreciated.
What's your name, man? Justin. Let's hear it for him, Walker Stadium. Give Justin a hand.
Justin wins that one, by the way. Congratulations to him.
Pickle Juice drinking champion of the
Again, I'm dead serious about that. If you're listening inside the stadium right now and want to run me up a pickle juice, I would love to have one, honestly. I still haven't had one. So would really like that. I could really go for one right now. New pitcher here for Wenatchee. And it's going to be Jared Engman, who will take over in relief with the Apple Sox down 6-1. The righty now on the bump. Just finished his freshman campaign at Tacoma Community College. Finished with a 4.85 ERA with 11 strikeouts. Out of Kent, Washington. Reed Rasmussen, obviously, his day is done after giving up 6 runs. So Gabriel Ariano will lead things off for the Pickles here in the bottom half of the 4th. Just made that tremendous web gem out in center field. And now he'll look to have a big at-bat here. 0 for 2 so far tonight with 2 flyouts. First pitch on the way that burns the outer half. Next pitch on the way. Ariano chases the high stuff. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. That one upstairs again. 1-2. And Engman is really bringing the gas, 94 miles per hour. And the rain is starting to fall again. But like I mentioned, in typical Oregon fashion, you have sun, you got blue sky, but it's raining. Like I mentioned, typical Oregon weather. Count full now. The payoff comes home. And Ariano battles. The payoff again. Check swing. Didn't go around according to Will Bennett. So a leadoff walk here for the Pickles.
Batting for the Portland Pickles, third baseman from Clark Community College, number 17, Noah Guyette.
Noah Guyette will step in here for Portland. Guyette with a ground out and a walk so far through this one. Gabriel Ariano over on first with nobody down. That one fouled off. There comes the 0-1. That one catches the zone. Throw over to first. Guyette fouls it off again. Noah Guyette, local product out of Vancouver, just across the Columbia. Played at Skyview. One and two. Attempted hit and run, a swing and a miss, but Ariano will take second.
Walk to the plate for your Pickles, shortstop from Chico State, number 6. Give it up for Jacob Jablonski.
Jacob Jablonski will step in, led off the game with a double. That bounced off the wall and then struck out in the bottom half of the second. Currently the starting shortstop for Chico State. Before that was the starting shortstop for Arkansas State for 2 seasons. And you'll see him out on the field. A lot of size at that middle infielder spot. 6'3", 215 pounds. Engman continuing to bring the heat. 93 on the radar gun on that last pitch. The 0-1. The 0-2. As Jablonski had to duck away from that one. By the way, the only other West Coast League game currently in progress is up at Yakima Valley as the Pippins have a 2-0 lead over the Corvallis Knights in the bottom of the second. Every other game besides ours has wrapped up for the day. That one gets away from Reed. And Ariano is going to move over to third. So the 7th run, 90 feet away. Gabriel Ariano led off the inning with a walk. Jablonski facing twos. Here it comes. Count full, 3-2. Payoff to Jablonski. That one absolutely hammered into left center for a base hit. And an RBI for Jacob Jablonski makes it a 7-1 Pickles lead.
Right into the plate. He's already got a dinger this afternoon. Number 20 from Southern Illinois, Edward.
And Ole Arnson will step in, I should say. Of course, that had that solo jack back in the 3rd inning. Jablonski over at first with one down. First pitch catches the outside. Grew up just down the road at Gresham, Oregon. Next pitch. Arnson tried to swing for the fences again, 0-2. Played for the Gresham Grey Wolves last season down in Aurora for the Wild Wild West League. One of the many players who played on other teams to basically get the promotion to the Pickles. The 1-2, breaking ball as Arnson fights it off. And thankfully the rain has died off once again here at Walker Stadium. Hopefully it's gone for good. Throw over to first as Jablonski is able to get back. But you know the rain's not going to keep the Pickles faithful away here on this Sunday night. Still a great crowd on hand. Hit and run as Arnson swings and misses, but Jablonski heads down to second. 2 down for the Pickles. As Arnson strikes out, that'll bring up Ryan Ball. Ryan Ball currently at Cal State Northridge. Hit .287 this past season. And you'll see it out in the infield. At one point this past season, he had a 100% fielding percentage. He finished the year at .980. But here with a runner in scoring position, looking to add on to this big Pickles lead. First pitch upstairs. Finished with 2 home runs and 20 ribbies this past season with 8 doubles. A double and a walk so far tonight as he fouls it off. Also has scored a run in this showdown. Jablonski at second, 2 down. Eamonn comes home with the 1-2 as Lead is able to block that one. Seven hits for the Pickles. Have produced all 7 runs. This one absolutely hammered into right. Out of the reach of Duffalo. That's going to bounce against the wall. 1 run will score, and the Pickles offense continues to click here in the final game of this series. 2 doubles now for Ryan Ball. This time an RBI double. And that might have gone the same exact place where he hit that first double back in the second. Have yourself a day, Ryan Ball. Eight runs for Portland here in the bottom of the 4th. Lance popped up deep into right. Duffalo will make the snag for out number 3 as the Pickles continue to add on to their lead. 8-1 as we head to the top of the 5th here at Walker Stadium.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Break of vodka.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Well, aside from the bottom of the first, the Pickles have scored every single inning. A 4-spot in the bottom of the second, and then 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth to make it an 8-1 lead over the Wenatchee Apple Sox. New pitcher in for the Pickles in Tucker Grote, local product out of Clackamas High School, and this past season finished his junior season at Mount Hood Community College. Fastball, slider, and changeup for the righty, as he will face the bottom of the order and Ben Lead. Blasted that home run over the right field wall in his first at bat back in the third. Next pitch on the way. That one finds the zone, 1-1. Grote, a second-team all-conference reliever back in 2019. 2-1 now. The 2-1 home. That one catches the upper half, 2-2. Lead lifts it to left. Gardino on the run and tracks it down. Gardino had to cover a lot of ground to make that snag. Nice play by the left fielder. And now we'll head back to the top of the order for Wenatchee. Enzo Apodaca. Apodaca with 2 ground outs so far, as he takes a first pitch strike. Didn't play in the 2021 season up in Gonzaga, which was his redshirt freshman year. And I'm sure a lot of people are asking, well, wait a minute. Gonzaga was playing this weekend down in Eugene. And I wondered the same thing. Why wasn't he with the Zags? And, you know, my best guess is that obviously utilizing that redshirt, I'm sure the Gonzaga coaching staff was saying, hey, you know what? You're not playing for us. Why not get in your reps, get in your cuts, and make some improvements before heading into the 2022 season. And when he first signed with the Zags, head coach Mark Maktoff said he will add more athleticism and speed to their outfield. We've seen flashes of that so far this weekend. Currently at a solid program in the WCC, of course, winning the conference title this past season and making their way to the Eugene Regional. Full. Apodaca takes ball 4 inside.
Batting for the Apple Sox, number 10, Adam Robb.
Adam Grobe comes up. Double down the right field line in his previous at-bat. Grobe will take ball 1 low. After tonight, the Pickles will head on the road for the first time this entire season to take on the Ridgefield Raptors in a 3-game series starting on Tuesday. And then after their series, they'll be making their trip right back here to Walker Stadium to play a trio as Apodaca almost got picked off over at first. As I was about to say, the Pickles will be back here at Walker Stadium, hosting the Willamette Wild Bills on June 11th. Another pickoff, and he is safe. Another close play over at first. After their second matchup with the Wild Bills on the 11th, June 12th, a rematch with the Portland Gherkins, and on June 13th against one of the newest members of the Wild Wild West League in the Portland Rosebuds. And then they'll play the Gherkins again on June 15th. As Grove takes strike 2. By the way, a lot of tickets available for that homestand next weekend. Grove hit the opposite way, but Scoro, he also had to cover a lot of real estate to make that catch. Two down here for Wenatchee here in the 5th. I'll bring up Luke Stuka. A double in his last at-bat. Definitely a baseball family, the Stuka family is. Luke's brother Ted was drafted into the Tigers organization, right now with the Lakeland Flying Tigers, their low A affiliate. And then his dad Martin played at UCLA back in the 80s. Tim Heigl's going to go walk down the third base line, and it not entirely sure what Tim Heigl, as he goes over to talk to the Portland dugout. Is he just thirsty? I mean, I get you're thirsty, but there's 2 down. Well, it looks like he maybe put water in his eye. Maybe got dirt in his eye. For a second, I thought he was getting a drink of water. I was going to say if he was just going over there to get a drink of water, there's 2 down, Tim. Could have waited one more out, but don't blame him one bit if he got dirt in his eye. Another check over. The 0-1. Stuka showed bunt, but pulled it back, 1-1. As he takes strike 2, 1-2. Stuka, that'll go the opposite way.
So, and for that new safety net here at Walker Stadium.
And one of the biggest additions to Walker Stadium this year, if you look down the left and right field lines, you see the netting here. Starting to see that more and more at MLB stadiums. Comebacker right at Grote. Easy play over to first for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 8-1 Pickles.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym, be fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Great color vodka.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Bottom of the order, due up for the Pickles. I was about to say the Portland Pilots. I was thinking too much about Gabe Scoro, as he will lead off the bottom of the 5th here at Walker Stadium. A sac bunt and a double into right field in his last at bat in the 3rd. Always a fan favorite here at Walker Stadium. And it's not just because of his play, not just because he's a Portland native, but you just see him embrace this organization, embrace the fans. You'll see him a lot of times interacting with the fans here at Walker Stadium. He loves putting on a Pickles uniform for sure. The 1-0 to him as he takes strike 1. And I mentioned it earlier, you know, for a lot of these guys who grew up in the Portland metro area, to stay here this summer and to keep playing baseball, you know, it's an opportunity that I'd imagine they really relish. Doesn't matter where they play. To be able to come back to their hometowns and keep playing the sport they love, I'm sure that's an absolute thrill. And especially a guy like Gabe Scoro, who he has been here in the Rose City through and through, as that one is lifted, and that's going to drop. Gabe Scoro with a big night so far as he's in there with a single. Ball gets away, but Scoro's going to stay at first. as the Portland Pilot is having a solid night so far. Now a single, also with a double and a beautiful sack bunt.
Portland Pickles, the left fielder, number 45, Ryan Gardino.
Now bring up Ryan Gardino. And to finish the thought on Gabe Scoro, to play nearby at University of Portland, to play at Lincoln, he's absolutely loving this. To continue playing in his hometown in front of his friends and family, I'm sure. It's got to be an absolute thrill for him. As is for his family, I imagine. Ryan Gardino with a big double back in the second that slammed off the center field wall. Breaking ball outside. That one inside, and Gabe Scoro is going to move up to second. And another Pickle in scoring position here. 9 hits for Portland tonight. Gardino leaves one upstairs. Gardino against Eamonn here. 3-1. That one popped. And that one's heading for the berm. The payoff. Gardino reaches out, and that's going to be inside the right field line. Gabe Scoro gets the wave home from Mags, and the offense continuing to click for Portland, now 9-1. Ryan Gardino also having a tremendous night. Another RBI double. 3 RBIs tonight for Ryan Gardino. The bottom of the lineup for the Pickles. Really showing out tonight, as that will step in Evan Leibel. Had a single back in the second, also scored a run. Would look to trade places with Ryan Gardino here with nobody down. That one up the middle, comebacker. Tracked down by Adam Grobe, over to first. And Stuka couldn't handle the scoop. That's going to be an error on Grobe.
The center fielder, number 4, Gabe Ariano.
Back to the top of the order, and Gabriel Ariano. Walked in the fourth and scored a run. Runners on the corners. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth. A 9-1 Pickles lead. Big hack there, 0-1. Ariano also with a pair of flyouts in the first and second. That one chopped, but off of Ariano. Very strong hitter, as he's shown early on this season in this Pickles lineup. Hit .395 his freshman season to help lead Pasadena City College to a conference title. 0-2. Breaking ball just misses the zone. Was a first-team all-conference recipient. Runners on first and third, no one down for Gabe Ariano. Swing and a miss as he goes down hacking. One down here for Portland.
He patrols the hot corner. Number 17, Noah Guyette.
Noah Guyette will step back in. And he gets plunked on the first pitch, right in the leg. And now the base is juice for Jacob Jablonski. And a tough spot here for Jared Engman. You're facing bases loaded and the number 3 hitter coming up to the box. And if you're Engman, got to try to keep it low. Try to get a ground ball, try to turn 2 here, and try to stop the bleeding. Again, a 9-1 Pickles lead. Jablonski takes strike 1 on the outer half. Jablonski with a double back in the first, and then a single in the fourth while striking out in the second. The 0-1 offering to Jablonski. He takes a big hack there, 0-2. Jablonski with a 2-run blast last night in the bottom of the first, which produced the only runs of the night for the Pickles. Jablonski, that one off the glove of Stuka. 1 run will score. Here comes another. And it is a 10-run Pickles lead. As Jacob Jablonski gets on. As Luke Stuka is going to get hit with the error.
Number 20,
Ryan Gardino as well as Evan Leibel came home to score for the Pickles there. 11 runs for Portland here in this rubber match. Trying to take the series. First pitch to Arnson. Had that solo home run back in the third. As the offense continues to click for the Pickles. Second time in this young season that the Pickles have scored double digits. Breaking ball just inside. First time in the regular season the Pickles have reached double digits. They scored 15 back on Thursday in their second preseason game against the Willamette Wild Bills. 1-1 to Arnson. Arnson goes chasing upstairs. And Cutting will make the snag for out number 2. And Ryan Ball will come up. He's also having a tremendous night. A double in the second, walk in the third, and then an RBI single in the fourth. As Ball drills it right at Grobe, over to second in time. as the Pickles continue to increase their big lead 11-1 off of 3 runs in that bottom half of the 5th here at Walker Stadium. They continue to click offensively.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry, and F is for face if you got a little sag, and A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time, and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Great color vodka.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
An 11-1 Pickles lead as we head to the top of the 6th here at Walker Stadium. New arm out on the bump for the Pickles. It's going to be Scott Wright. Local product out of Portland, Oregon. Played near Beaverton at Sunset High School. He got the start in the first preseason game against the Portland Gherkins back on Wednesday night. He'll come in relief here with an 11-1 lead over the Wenatchee Apple Sox. 10 hits for the Pickles tonight, 4 hits for Wenatchee. And aside from that goose egg in the bottom of the first, the Pickles have scored every single inning since. 4 and then 2 and then 2 and then 3. So the offense really clicking here in this final game of a 3-game series as they look to take 2 of 3 from Wenatchee before they head up I-5 to take on Ridgefield starting on Tuesday. Dakota Duffalo will step in to lead things off for Wenatchee here in the top of the 6th. Scott Wright coming off a solid season out at Butler, a 2.38 ERA and 11 1/3 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts during the 2021 season. And we talked about it earlier with Reed Rasmussen having to battle back from injuries. It's almost the same exact story with Scott Wright. He suffered a partially torn ligament a couple months into his junior year that really prevented him from pitching the rest of his high school career, as that one is outside for ball 1. And obviously because he couldn't pitch, the recruiting really cooled off. Eventually landed at Butler, had to try out, then was allowed to practice with the team and was put in high-pressure situations during their Fall World Series and performed really well. And you've seen it this past season in 2021, 2.38 ERA. After in 2020 he had an 11.57 ERA, so continuing to make strides, and had an impressive showing last year down in Aurora with the Gresham Grey Wolves, and one of those Pickles that got the promotion to 2021. First out for Wenatchee. Now I'll bring up Tino Bethencourt.
Batting for the Sox, third baseman, number 8, Tino Bethencourt.
And a little personal connection to Scott Wright. I played with his older brother Todd for several years at Sunset High School. I'm sure the Wright family is watching right now if they're not already here at Walker Stadium. So great to see Scott Wright out on the bump, playing for the Pickles this summer. Comebacker off the mitt of Scott. Over to first in time for out number 2. Nice defense right there from Ryan Ball, as he was able to help out his righty.
Batting for the Sox, number 9, Garrett Clayton.
Garrett Cutting will step in, a strikeout and a walk so far through this one. Wright continues to work from the stretch. First pitch, Slow roller. Wright will track it down and will flip it over to Arnson for out number 3. A quick 1-2-3 there from Scott Wright. Bottom of the 6th. Can the Pickles add on to their huge lead?
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can...
All right, here we go. Time for another race between Lil P against another fan. This time it is going to be against Jason. Lil P won the first race of the season last night. We'll see if he can make it 2-0 tonight. Lil P, of course, getting stretched out. Let's see. Here we go. Can Lil P stay undefeated on the young season? Lil P trying to play catch-up. Jason looking for the upset. Lil P playing catch-up. And Jason takes it. Lil P suffers his first loss of the season.
And Justin, the pickle juice drinker, are going to wrestle in the parking lot after the game for the grand championship of Walker State.
It is a young season, Lil P. It's 1-1.
Let's hear one more time for Jason.
He'll have a lot of races this season for sure.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
New pitcher for the Wenatchee Apple Sox as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Jasper Nelson getting the call to the bump here. Just finished his freshman campaign at Spokane Falls Community College, where he finished 1-1 on the year with a 2.79 ERA with 12 strikeouts. As Eamonn Lance, who just joined the Pickles today from Santa Clara, will step in. Lance 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts and a walk back in the 2nd. First pitch from him. That catches the upper half. Nelson threw a scoreless inning back on Wednesday in Wenatchee's non-league matchup against Northwest Star Academy, as Duffalo makes the snag for the first out. Was able to keep it a 1-run game in the 9th inning in that 7-6 loss. Gabe Scoro will step back in. An impressive night for him. A sac bunt, a double, and a single, as well as a run scored. Scoro once again going to right field. Duffalo trying to track it down. He slides, and he makes the sliding grab. Nice play there from the right fielder. Two quick outs here for the Pickles. In fact, last night for the Wenatchee Apple Sox, that wasn't just the Apple Sox first win of the regular season in West Coast League play. That was their first win of the entire season. They started 0 for 3 after getting swept by Northwest Star Academy in 2 games, and then they obviously dropped the first game of the series on Friday against Portland before getting that 4-2 win last night. Brian Gardino back in the box. 2 doubles tonight, including a fly out to center field. That one high and tight. 2-1 now. Looking around the scores around the West Coast League, the other game in progress right now in the bottom of the fourth. Yakima Valley leads Corvallis 6-0. Gardino with a laser into the alleyway in left center. Ryan Gardino, have yourself a night. A stand-up double, his third of the night. The bat has been hot for him tonight. And now to the bottom of the order in Evan Leibel.
Number 3, the catcher, Evan Leibel.
Leibel reached on an error in his last at-bat, scored 2 runs so far through this one. By the way, the other scores from today, all afternoon first pitches. Walla Walla falls to Cowlitz 5-4. The Ridgefield Raptors smoke the Bend Elks 13-0. And Port Angeles takes down the Bellingham Bells 10-7. So it looks like the Pickles will be taking on a Ridgefield Raptors squad who is also really clicking offensively as of late through the first weekend of the season. Leibel takes ball 2 up high. The 2-0 from Nelson. Leibel fouls it off. As the weather continues to flip-flop here in Portland, we're back to bright sunshine here in the bottom of the 6th, as the sun is shining directly into our press box right now, as well as the rest of the stadium. 3-1 now to Leibel. Again, I've mentioned it time and time again, that the risk of sounding like a broken record, that's Oregon weather for you. The 3-1 home. Leibel chopper up the middle. Cutting over to Stuka for out number 3. Top 7 we go. The Pickles looking to take the series against Wenatchee, up 11-1.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Great color vodka.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast.
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
I gotta tell you, folks, that sandwich that you just saw in that commercial, I'm starving. Everybody agrees with me here in the press box when I say that. Do they make them? I gotta ask, do they make them downstairs? No? Okay, well, I was going to ask somebody to go get it, but never mind. Back to action here at Walker Stadium. An 11-1 Pickles lead. New arm out on the bump for the Pickles, and Josh Molleris, the sophomore, recently finished with a 7.04 ERA and 46 innings pitched down at San Francisco for the Dons. 39 Ks this past season, 6'3", 205 pounds for the righty. As he will face the bottom of the order of this Apple Sox lineup, starting with Jackson Vandebrake. Flew out to center in his last at-bat. As we're actually going to have a pinch hitter here for Wenatchee. Reese Stapp will step into the box. That one inside, call a strike, 1-2. The 1-2 home. Fouled off the end of the bat. Stapp didn't play in the 2021 nor the 2020 season out at Ohio University. Older brother Wyatt is currently at Cincinnati. Before that, played at Tennessee. Swing and a miss as he goes down hacking. I'll bring up Peyton Flynn, who is 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts. That one off the mask, Leibel. "11 runs on 11 hits for the Pickles tonight. Quite the turnaround for this Portland offense from last night when they only put 2 on the board, and that was thanks to a 2-run home run by Jake Jablonski in the bottom of the first. Flynn didn't go around. That one way upstairs. Now 2-1. Two-one, swing and a miss. Count full now, 3-2. Again, we've had sun, we've had rain, we've had clouds. And we're back to sunlight as Flynn goes down swinging. 3 strikeouts tonight for the Washington State Cougar. And the catcher, Ben Lead, will step back in. Walker Stadium, of course, always a great spot to watch a ball game. Has been a tremendous home for the Portland Pickles since they first came into existence back in 2015. Since the first season back in 2016, it has definitely been a baseball fan favorite here in the Rose City. And especially after the year we've had, just to have baseball to go to again. And, you know, baseball fans here in the Portland metro area, you got your choices. You got the Pickles here. You got the Hillsborough Hops out in Washington County. You also got the Vancouver Canadians as well. So you got 3 teams if you want to go get your baseball fix. But obviously we hope you come to Walker Stadium. Always a great spot here in the Rose City. to bring baseball back as that one is fouled off by Lead. And especially after the Portland Beavers left. I won't lie, I'm still pretty upset about the Beavers leaving. I loved going to those games with my dad when I was a little kid, but, you know, like I said, you got so many options here in the Portland metro area today.
Let's go, Walker Stadium.
Payoff pitch coming. 3-2 to Lead. That one in the dirt, ball 4.
Batting for the Apple Sox, number 1, Enzo Apodaca.
Back to the top of the order here.
Come on up and get 'em.
2 groundouts and a walk today for Apodaca. First pitch inside. Because there's no question, they love their baseball here in Portland. I mean, you see the crowds that have been on hand here at Walker Stadium through the first 3 regular season games and even the first preseason game back on Wednesday. Fans were itching to get back out here to Walker Stadium. You saw the crowds about a month ago over at Ron Tonkin Field for the Hops. They love their baseball, and they love having it back after, like I said, not to sound like a broken record, the year we've all had. But at the same time, you got to give a shout-out to the Portland Pickles staff for putting on the Wild Wild West League last year. Tremendously run, giving the opportunity to several players to keep playing baseball, as that one will go foul. Provide the opportunity for players to keep playing safely, I have to add, in the middle of a pandemic, to give baseball fans a chance to escape for a couple hours during the day. Tremendously run last year down in Aurora. But I think I speak for everybody when I say that we are all happy to be back at Walker Stadium. Swing and a miss by Apodaca. He goes down. Stretch time here at Walker Stadium. The Pickles with a commanding 11-1 lead.
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast.
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Great color vodka.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast.
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
To the top of the order here in the bottom of the 7th, Gabriel Ariano will lead things off for the Pickles. A pair of flyouts as well as a strikeout in the 5th and a walk in the 4th to go along with a stolen base as that one is heading towards the berm in right field. Again, the Pickles with a big bounce-back performance in the box that in this Game 3. 0-2 now as Ariano is quickly down 0-2. The 0-2, that one way outside. Called strike 3 as Ariano will take a seat. Now I'll bring up Noah Guyette. And looking at some scores in the NCAA regionals right now, the Beavers lead Dallas Baptist 4-3 in the top of the ninth. So Oregon State trying to force, if they can hold on, they will force one final game tomorrow night to determine who will move on to the Super Regionals. And meanwhile, down in Eugene, right now LSU has a 1-0 lead over number 14 Oregon. If the Ducks are able to take that one, they advance to the Super Regionals. If not, if the Tigers win tonight, they force one final game tomorrow. One-two to Guyette. Two's to Guyette. Swings. Nelson will just flip it over to first in time for out number 2. Cam Clayton will come in and pinch hit here for the Pickles for Jacob Jablonski. Clayton last night 0 for 5. First pitch up the middle. Grob over to first for the third out. A quick bottom half of the 7th there for the Pickles. Top 8 we go. 11-1 Portland.
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast.
B-E-F-A-S-T.
Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Break a vodka.
At Adventist Health Portland, we're partnering with OHSU to give our patients access to more specialists and more advanced care in more places than ever. Together, we can do so much more.
Free bag of peanuts. Go up there to the party deck, sir. Bag of peanuts on me.
Top of the 8th we go. 11-1 Pickles trying to take the series over Wenatchee. And a new pitcher for the Pickles. We talked so much about Portland Pilots today. Nick Brink will come on here in the top of the 8th. And looking at the upcoming schedule for the Pickles, as I mentioned earlier, they'll travel on the road to take on Ridgefield in a 3-game series Tuesday through Thursday, and then they'll be right back here at Walker Stadium taking on Willamette on Friday, the Portland Gherkins on Saturday, and then a week from tonight they'll take on one of the other newest members of the Wild Wild West League this season in the Portland Rosebuds. They'll then take on the Portland Gherkins again on Tuesday the 15th, and then the next home league series won't be until June 22nd when they open up a 3-game series against the Corvallis Knights, and then this part of a 6-game homestand where after that series they immediately take on the Richfield Raptors in another 3-game series right here at Walker Stadium. So a lot of chances to come out to Walker Stadium and watch some baseball here in the month of June. Nick Brink will face Adam Grobe to start the top of the 8th. Grobe tonight, a walk, a double down the right field line, and then flew out in his last at bat in the top of the 5th. And the first pitch hit him. According to home plate umpire Tim Heigl. And Luke Stuka will step in. Nick Brink this past season with Jeff Loomis' squad, a 9.00 ERA in 5 appearances. Played just down the road at Cleveland High School. And finished the season on a really strong note, striking out 5 over 3 innings pitched against Oregon State. That was when the Beavers were still ranked in the top 25. Adam Grobe on first. Nobody down here in the top of the 8th. That one fouled off. And we talked about it earlier with Gabe Scoro, playing across the river at Lincoln High School, deciding to go play at the University of Portland and playing all 4 years with the Portland Pickles, staying home, being close to family, whatever. That's the exact reason why Nick Brink decided to go play at the University of Portland. He wants to see wants to have his family see him play, especially his grandma, who's come to a lot of his sporting events over the years. So not only getting the chance to do that on the Bluff with the Pilots, but also here at Walker Stadium with the Pickles. 2-2 now.
2 strikes, whoop it up, Walker.
That one just caught the zone. That one popped up. Leibel calls everybody off and makes the snag. Dakota Duffalo will now come up for the Apple Sox. Kind of a 180 performance for Duffalo tonight after going 3 for 4 with 3 singles last night in Game 2 in that 4-2 W. So far tonight, popped out and a ground out, as well as reached on a fielder's choice. Brink throw over to first. And obviously Gabe Scoro, Nick Brink aren't the only examples of players getting the chance to play close to home. I mean, you saw him go yard earlier in this game. Only Arnson calls Gresham, Oregon his home. And obviously he's not swinging the bat at SIU Edwardsville. That one catches the zone, 1-2. Brink, look out, high and tight. Off the wild pitch, Adam Grobe will move up to second. Brink comes home with twos. That one fouled off. As I mentioned earlier, Nick Brink played not too far away from here at Cleveland High School. During the 2019 season, was in the top 10 in ERA and strikeouts among high school pitchers here in the state of Oregon. That one chopped up the middle. In time for out number 2. Great play right there from Cam Clayton. And we've talked about it a lot this weekend. Cam Clayton brings a lot of tremendous ability on the defensive end. One of the many reasons that he'll be calling the University of Washington his home starting next season. A tremendous prospect out of Lake Ridge High School. Tino Bethencourt 0 for 3 tonight. Bethencourt now ahead 2-1. And talking about Cam Clayton, as that one is inside for ball 3. Washington head coach Lindsey Meggs says basically the exact thing. Clayton can impact the game defensively. When you talk about everyday players at that shortstop position in the Pac-12, you want explosiveness, and you have it right there in Cam Clayton. Looking to have a big collegiate career up in Montlake. Nick Brink trying to send us to the bottom of the 8th. Full count 3-2. Here it comes home. Hit over to Ryan Ball. And we head to the bottom of the 8th. A 10-run Pickles lead. They look to add on to that next.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym, be fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Sweet Caroline time here at Walker Stadium, and there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Pickles fan here on a Sunday night here in the Rose City. An 11-1 Pickles lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th. And if you can hear it, if you're watching at home, sing it along. You know it's Sweet Carol. I'm not going to torture all of you at home with my terrible singing voice. Ba, ba, ba. Gotta love it. I've said it all weekend. I'll say it again. You can't tell whether it's Walker Stadium or Fenway Park. Gotta love it. 10-run Pickle lead. Bottom of the 8th we go. And the bulk of the Pickles offense have come between the 2nd and the 5th inning. They scored all 11 runs in those 4 innings. 4 in the bottom of the 2nd, 2 in the bottom of the 3rd, 2 also in the bottom of the 4th, and then 3 more in the bottom of the 5th. Sam Haney with his first at bat of the night, taking over for Ole Arntzen. He'll lead things off here in the 8th. Haney got the start last night in Game 2. Had an infield single, a walk, pop out, and a ground out. Two and one now. Haney currently at Clark Community College. Swing and a miss, now 2-2. Played at Lake Oswego High School. Hit .381 during the 2020 shortened season. Left side, that one foul. And by the way, we just got the update. Oregon State has won their game as Haney goes down looking. Didn't like that call from Tim Heigl. So Oregon State forces another game tomorrow night against Dallas Baptist to determine who moves on to the Super Regionals. Beautifully laid bunt. Beautiful bunt there and an infield single.
At the plate from Santa Barbara Community College, number 19, Patrick Mushka.
And now Patrick Mushkat will step in. Takes the first pitch strike. As with an 11-1 lead here in the bottom of the 8th, Justin Barkis trying to get some more hitters in here. As Mushkat is quickly down 0-2. Oh for 3 last night for Patrick Mushkat, and he's still looking for his swing a little bit. Was the MVP of the Portland Gherkins last season down in the Wild Wild West League. Again, another Wild Wild West League player to basically get the call up to the Pickles for the 2021 season. Check swing. Did he go around? No, he didn't. But still looking for some rhythm offensively. Started as the DH last night. As I mentioned, went 0 for 3. Next pitch to him. Swings and fouls it off. Two to Mushkat. That one upstairs. Now the count full, 3-2. And Mushkat is still looking for his first hit of this entire season, including preseason games, and he'll go down looking. Mushkat didn't like that call either.
Now batting for the Portland Pickles, number 12, Gabe
Back to Gabe Scoro now. Sack bunt in the second. A double, a single, and a fly out for Scoro. Mr. Pickle looking to continue with his tremendous night so far at the dish. The 1-0. That one gets away. Scoro drives that one down the third base line, but foul. One on, one out for the Pickles here in the bottom half of the eighth. A solid offensive night for Portland. Second highest run total for the Pickles on the early season, if you count the two preseason games against the Gherkins as well as the Willamette Wild Bills. They scored 15 back on Thursday night against Willamette. And Scoro draws the walk. And you talk about another guy who has had a big night. Ryan Gardino will step in with 2 on. A double that slammed off the center field wall. A double into right field in the 5th. And then a double into left field in the 6th. Doing a tremendous job of swinging the lumber tonight. First pitch to him. That one burns in there, 0-1. I think it's definitely safe to say that Ryan Gardino is definitely our player of the game, as if there's any other debate. Gardino takes ball 1 above the letters, or I guess in this case with the uniforms the Pickles are wearing today, above the pickle. Or you can say above Dylan T. As he'll take strike 2. One, 2 to Gardino. That evens the count, 2-2. Two's home. And he definitely went around strike 3. So the Pickles with a 10-run lead, top of the 9th, we go. Wenatchee's going to need a lot of offense, and I'm talking about a lot of offense if they want to extend this game. 10-run Pickles lead as we head to the 9th.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym, be fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/befast.
Iceland and Portland both love vodka and flexing their weird muscles. I said weird muscles, not beard muscles. Down, boys. There we go. Good beard.
Break of vodka.
What makes Wickles Pickles so sinfully satisfying? We source only the finest ingredients, including a custom blend of spices that's been a family secret for over 90 years. So when you're ready to get wicked, pick up a jar of defiantly wholesome Wickles. Wickedly delicious.
Well, I'll tell you what, we definitely have talked about our share of Portland Pilots tonight, and we get another one here on the bump. Here in the top of the ninth, KJ Rufo will come in to close things out for Portland, as they are now 3 outs away from taking the opening weekend series against Wenatchee before taking on Ridgefield starting on Tuesday. KJ Rufo, another Portland kid out of Rex Putnam High School, playing right now with the Pilots. First team All-League and second team All-State back in 2019. Can get it done not only on the mound but also in the batter's box as well. And you know, here's the funny thing about KJ Rufo. When he was also playing catcher, he can also play behind the dish as well. I should have mentioned that. When he was catching in a game at the Baseball Factory Showcase back in high school, the pitcher who was throwing had to come out of the game due to an injury. There were no pitchers left, but there was another catcher available. So KJ was asked to go out on the mound, and he ended up hitting 94 miles per hour on the gun. And that very night, Portland offered him a scholarship. And obviously he took it. He also had partial scholarship or walk-on offers from Oregon State, Oregon, USC, UCLA, to name a few. But he said, you know what, I'm going to take the full scholarship. I'm going to stay here in my hometown, and I'm going to go play for the Pilots. And he continues that UP campus to Walker Stadium pipeline. One inning pitched this season against the Ducks where he gave up a walk. First pitch skied. This is going to be a tough play. Who's going to call it down the right field line? Well, nobody is. That's going to go into the berm. Garrett Cutting, by the way, leading things off here in the top of the ninth for the Apple Sox. Wenatchee's going to need a lot of offense here, trailing by 10. By the way, the Apple Sox will be back home to take on Walla Walla starting on Tuesday. The 1-1 from Rufo. That one called a strike on the outside edge.
It's crazy in here.
1-2 from Rufo. That one bounces in front of the plate. Don't forget Ice Bags with Mags coming up once we're done here at Walker Stadium. I'm sure Coach will be extremely pleased with the offensive production tonight. 2-2. Swing and a miss as Rufo gets the K. And as I mentioned before, Rufo can also swing the bat as well. Hit 300 with 1 RBI in 10 at-bats for the Pilots, including a 2-hit night in a win against the Ducks down in Eugene. Another pitch in the dirt. Reese Stapp in his second at-bat tonight after taking over for Jackson Vandebrake back in the 7th. The 1-0 from Rufo. Again after tonight, as that one is in there for strike 2. The next home game for the Pickles will be on Friday when they take on the Willamette Wild Bills. Part of a 4-game homestand. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then next Tuesday, where they'll play a trio of Wild Wild West League teams. Saturday, they'll take on the Gherkins, and then a week from tonight, they'll face the Portland Rosebuds. And then Tuesday the 15th, another matchup with the Gherkins. It'll be the third meeting between those two clubs in non-league play. That one just misses outside. Count full now, 3-2. And to emphasize this again, tickets are still available for that homestand. Leibel tried to frame it, ball 4. Peyton Flynn will come up. A night he would like to forget, 3 strikeouts. Rufo from the stretch, called a strike. Flynn definitely went around there, quickly 0-2. Flynn fouls it off. And the last update I got in regard to tickets, I think the 100 level sections are sold out from what I understand. Not for the season, but for the next couple games. Still a lot of seats available, though, in other sections in the berm beyond the outfield. Rufo, the 1-2 home. Flynn continues to battle. Do the 1-2 all over again. Called strike 3 on the upper half. Peyton Flynn disagrees with that call, has some words for home plate umpire Tim Heigl. And the Pickles 1 out away from taking the series. Bottom of the order, and Ben Lead, who provided the only run for the Apple Sox tonight with that solo blast back in the 3rd inning over the right field wall. .91 on that heater from Rufo. Pickles fans getting loud here at Walker Stadium. (2-1) now to Lead. Lead also flew out to left in the 5th and walked in his previous at bat in the 7th. And the Apple Sox down to their final strike. Rufo looking to wrap things up. The 2-2. Chopper, Clayton charges in, over to first, in time. And the Pickles take the series from the Apple Sox. Final score 11-1. The offense just exploded for Justin Barkas's crew tonight as they take 2 of 3 from the Apple Sox. Don't forget, Ice Bags with Mags coming up in just a few minutes. We'll talk with Coach, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about the offensive production tonight. Again, 11-1 Pickles, the final. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Do you know the signs of stroke? Remember the acronym Be Fast. B is for balance if you can't stand. E is for eyes if things are blurry. And F is for face if you got a little sag. And A is for arm if it starts to drag. S is for speech if you slur what you say. Call 911 and call right away. T is for time and the time is now. Be fast. B-E-F-A-S-T. Sing along at ohsu.edu/BeFast.
We're pleased with the offensive production tonight. Your thoughts on the offense?
Well, like I said, we hit a lot of balls on the screws last night, right? Tonight the key was we had 8 two-strike hits that produced runs. And that's part of the plan, is not striking out and still driving the baseball. I think 4 of those two-strike hits were extra base hits, including a home run by Arnie. So those are big things for us.
You know, looking at the bottom of the order, I mean, you look at Gabe, he had a solid night. Ryan Gardino easily was our player of the game. You know, talking about Ryan, I mean, 3 doubles. He was impressive. What'd you like out of his swing?
He just continues to grind it every day in pregame and doing his work. He's made some adjustments, and he competed real well today, especially like the 2-strike double off the wall. That's just following his plan and not being afraid to get in the 2-strike plan or 2-strike approach because he's looking for a pitch he can drive. You
know, and talking about Gabe, you know, kind of a slow start through those preseason games and kind of the first 2 games of this series, but you know, you got that double out of him, you got that single and that beautiful sacrifice bunt to lead things off for him. You know, you've obviously been around him for the last couple of years. There's a reason we call him Mr. Pickle. You know, what do you like out of him and just this season? We'll start with that.
Well, first of all, Gabe's steady, and he's been steady for us for a couple of years now, and he's a great teammate, and he competes, and he doesn't go up and down. He's steady the entire time, not a lot of emotion, just goes about his business, and he understands the ebbs and flows of the game. To be a true baseball player, you've got to struggle at some point. This game's more about failure than success. So if you can stay focused and stay composed, you're going to continue to put out quality at bats.
You know, for him, being an upperclassman over at Portland and being with this organization for 4 years, does he kind of take on a leadership role in a way?
You actually saw that leadership role last night, about the 6th or 7th inning last night. He pulled the team up on his own, and he started talking about getting quality at bats and trying to get back into the game, and that's when we started getting better at bats last night. Big firm believer is how you compete the night before the day in practice is going to carry over into the game. So that was just a carryover from last night.
Anything else that impressed you tonight here in the series finale?
Again, we pitched well. I mean, that's going to be the key to the game down the stretch, and trying to get into the playoffs is going to be the pitching staff. You go as our pitchers go. They had great tempo. They controlled the strike zone. They controlled the leadoff man. And you got to keep that guy off the base because he's going to score 70% of the time that he gets on base. So if you can control that leadoff guy, you can stay away from those crooked numbers.
Big Macs tonight?
No Big Macs tonight. I'm getting home early, man. I'm going to tell you what, tonight I hope when we get home she's going to have banana split waiting for me, right,
Oh,
JoJo?
my goodness. You're making me hungry. I didn't have lunch, and banana split sounds perfect right now.
Welcome to pickle baseball. We don't eat around here.
Appreciate it, Coach, as always. See you next week.
You bet. Dios te bendiga, and I'll see you all later. See you guys in Richfield.
There we go. Again, Pickles will take on Richfield in a 3-game series on the road up I-5, and then we'll be right back here next weekend for 3 games against a trio of Wild Wild West League teams.